Oh, is it good to be in Southern California? And there are a few things in all of professional sports as big as a heavyweight championship fight, and that is our reality this weekend. Great to have you with us for the DraftKings betting preview in advance of UFC 270. John Anik and Daniel Cormier today being joined by FaZe Temperrr. You know him from FaZe Clan, 31-time esports champions. Great to have you in the building, my man.
Appreciate you guys having me. Honored to be here.
All right, so born in Brazil, he's a Massachusetts guy. But before we get into the meat and potatoes of UFC 270, you are making your amateur boxing debut on March 5th. Is that right?
Yeah, in London. It's going to be the USA versus UK fight card, so it's going to be interesting.
And you're repping the Stars and Stripes. And I know you were talking to Daniel Cormier about some of the nerves.
Yeah.
He's not feeling them yet.
He's not feeling them yet, but you're going to feel them right before the fight, and they're going to be warranted.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to get interesting. I think I'm going to come out wearing, like, all Brazil stuff, too. Like, you know, even though it's USA versus UK, I gotta rep the homeland.
You gotta put the Brazil on the front, USA on the back. You know, hit him with the old Apollo Creed. Remember Apollo and Rocky?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Wear the flag on both sides of the shorts. Be good.
Yeah, that'd be hard.
So I got to ask quickly, as you're sort of in the midst of your first training camp, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the preparation as a gamer with the esports stuff, I mean, do you focus on like being physically in shape for that line of work or not necessarily?
I mean, I just do it because I love it. If I don't exercise, I'm not the same person.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm sluggish and just, you know, I feel like I need that. But as far as like our pros and all the kids that, you know, compete at a high level, I feel like they always do better if they're constantly exercising.
Yeah.
And their diet's on point. They have that upper edge.
All right, well, let us get into it, right? We got the UFC Heavyweight Championship this weekend. Francis Ngannou is the champ. Can't call him undisputed because Ciryl Gane has an interim title. But there are so many amazing storylines to this fight, Daniel, in terms of the backdrop with Fernand Lopez, one-time coach of Francis Ngannou, now the head coach of Ciryl Gane. Very interesting backdrop to our main event.
Absolutely. And, you know, honestly, I call Fernand Lopez the heavyweight whisperer. Right? Because this dude sure knows how to train up a heavyweight to get to a championship. Now, for me, it's all about the story. Guys, I'm from Louisiana. I'm messy. I'm the guy that sits on the porch telling the next neighbor something about the other neighbor so that they get into a fight. So I love the friends turn foe. I love all the different things that goes into this fight, but ultimately, it all comes down to how they compete inside the octagon. And when you talk about the champ, Francis Ngannou, he is a knockout artist extraordinaire. But Ciryl Gane, he's just a magician in there. He puts everything together so well. And when you mix these two up, John, it's going to be a fantastic night in Anaheim.
All right, so on DraftKings Sportsbook, Ciryl Gane opened, albeit slightly, as the favorite, -115. Francis Ngannou was -105. Now, as we sit here in the middle of fight week, Ciryl Gane has swelled to a -155 betting favorite, and Francis Ngannou, scariest power puncher I've ever seen in my life, can be had at +135. My man, what are your thoughts on this heavyweight championship fight and the betting line as it stands right now?
I think it's crazy. I think, I mean, both the main card and the co-main event is just like one of the hardest. I don't know who's going to take it. This is tough. But the fact that Gane's up right now with the betting odds, I mean, it kind of, I don't know.
It's interesting when you look at some of the numbers. A couple of propositions taking heavy action on DraftKings right now. Ciryl Gane by unanimous decision at +275, and then Gane by submission. He's got a nose for those. Well, it's +800.
Yeah.
But any thoughts on sort of that line movement and the fact that Francis Ngannou can be had close to +140 right now?
You know what's crazy about betting is that people believe that they're smart, right? So when you watch Francis, you know that he knocks you out, and they kind of think, well, the only way for him to win is to knock out Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane has more ways to get a victory. I think that's why you see so many people betting on the interim champion opposed to the champ. Very rarely, guys, when you have an interim title fight, especially at heavyweight, does the interim champion win. Only Fabricio Verdum beat Cain Velasquez. And the other two, Brock Lesnar was able to defend his championship. So I think that speaks to how special Ciryl Gane truly is in terms of a mixed martial artist. But when you got the power that Francis Ngannou possesses, how could you ever count him out? I would love to hear the prop bet for Francis by knockout, because that has to be minus, right, at this point, because they understand that that's his path to victory.
Well, so he's plus in the fight. So the knockout price on Francis Ngannou will probably be very close to his money line price, maybe a little bit north of that. But to your point, Francis Ngannou has never won a fight by decision. He's also never been finished. So if you are betting Francis, I think a lot of people would look at that knockout prop. I know you're going to be in the building with us at UFC 270. Do you bet on these fights? Will you take a look at this main event from a betting perspective or no?
I'm probably going to take a bet on it. Yeah, I'm probably. Are you asking me who
Yeah,
would I
who are
bet
you
on?
going to take?
I'm gonna take Ngannou for this
Really?
one. Yeah.
The knockout. You just think that he can knock him out?
I don't know. At the same time, like, Ngannou is such a good kickboxer and he's so versatile and he moves like a welterweight, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I don't know. I don't know.
That's the
I really
reaction,
don't.
right, J.A.? That's the
It's
reaction.
tough.
That's the reaction of a heavyweight title fight, especially a heavyweight title fight that is as competitive and matters. Most people from the outside are kind of like, and that's good. That's a good thing.
And if you're asking me, I think there are probably better betting opportunities on the card because I do think this fight is relatively close on paper. There is an emotional component to this for Francis Ngannou, Daniel, right? He has had rematches in the UFC against Stipe Miocic, but he has never fought a former teammate with whom he shared a coach, with whom he shared the gym. Do you think that there is more for Francis to deal with than the average UFC opponent in this matchup?
I think so. I think there are a number of things that Francis is dealing with, not even just with the teammate, Fernand Lopez, also with the contract situation. Francis Ngannou has a lot going on. Not only even that, he's got Tyson Fury calling him out to a fight. It's like he's got so many different things on his plate, but so does anyone that becomes the heavyweight champion of the world. You are now the most targeted person on the planet. Everybody wants a piece of you, whether it's sponsors, whether it's movies, whether it's anything. Guys wanting to fight you. It is what it is. Francis Ngannou has to really stay locked in if he's going to beat Cyril Gane. Because for as popular as you are today, it can all be gone come Sunday morning if you weren't completely locked in on a guy that's as dangerous as Cyril. Hate Fernand Lopez that he says it seems like the relationship's spoiled.
Yeah.
But when you spend that much time with someone, you got to have a little bit of you that still feels for that person, especially when you went all the way to the top of the sport, even if you didn't ultimately accomplish the goal that you set out to accomplish.
All right, well, Francis Ngannou, 3-0 lifetime as a betting underdog. And, of course, on the other side, Cyril Gane, 7-0 in the UFC, 10-0 as a pro. So every time you have bet on Cyril Gane in the past, you have cash. We'll see how it plays out this weekend. And Ngannou, by the way, plus 175 by knockout. So maybe that's enticing to some people, about 40 cents better than the money line price on him right now. All right, co-headliner. A trilogy to be completed. Most expect this will be the third and final meeting between the champion Brandon Moreno and the former champion Davison Figueiredo. Figueiredo making wholesale changes in advance of this third meeting. As far as the betting line is concerned, Brandon Moreno right now on DraftKings Sportsbook is minus 180. The comeback on Davison Figueiredo is plus 155. Some movement from the open. Davison Figueiredo from plus 145 to plus 155, and Moreno from minus 165 to minus 180. I mean, you got to be rooting for the native Brazilian here, not?
Absolutely. I mean, and it's his third time around. Like, the second time, it was like he lost pretty bad.
He did.
So I think he's coming back with a vengeance.
So Davison Figueiredo had never been finished going into that second meeting with Brandon Moreno, which took place last June. Not resting on his laurels, right? He didn't go back to Brazil. Can you talk us through some of the things that Figueiredo has changed up with the hopes of producing the desired result this weekend?
Jay, I got to be honest. You know, Henry Cejudo, he's a weird little dude, but dude's an absolute winner, right? He knows how to win. He knows how to also win in this weight class. And when you watch the last fight between Figueiredo and Moreno, Figueiredo looked a bit confused. He was a step behind. Brandon Moreno, I mean, would you agree that this was one of the best challenger performances we've ever seen to capture a belt? You think RDA and Pettis, too, was one of those fights? McGregor when he knocked out Jose Aldo. But the way Brandon Moreno fought that fight, he beat him up behind the jab. It seemed like Davison, he's a bruiser. He's a guy that wants to get in your face, get after you, and really overwhelm you with his power. But he couldn't get past the jab of Moreno. So he needed to not only work on his mentality in terms of how he approaches the fight, but I think the key with Cejudo and the team at Nero Force One is to work on the athleticism, right? Because if you want to get past the jab, if you want to create angles to get in close to land those big shots, you got to be able to move. And you can't just move straight forward and back. And that is where Figueiredo struggled in the last fight. He was trying to go at him forward when Moreno kept cutting angles and hitting him from areas that he didn't expect. I expect a better version in a much better fight in this rematch, or in this trilogy.
Most would argue Deiveson Figueiredo is the more explosive athlete. He has struggled with the scale at times, and I think some bettors do have pause when it comes to betting on Deiveson Figueiredo until they see him on the scale on Friday morning. I know you're getting ready to cut down from 195 pounds or so to 176 pounds, but any concern from you that your countryman Figueiredo is going to miss on the scale here on Friday?
Well, what does he normally walk around in?
Well, I think he's closer to like 146, 7, but now, if social media is to be believed, he's carrying himself a lot lower. So.
Right. Okay, I mean, and he's got to make 125?
125, championship weight. No 0.1, no 0.2, 125.0.
Has he missed it before?
Oh,
Yes.
a ton of times.
Oh, really? Wow, okay.
I think you're going to make weight on March 4th,
Yeah.
and I think Figueiredo's going to make
I think
weight
he'll
here
make
this
the weight.
weekend.
Well,
Yeah.
he's become much more professional lately, right? In the fight against Benavidez, he knocked him out in Washington, D.C., didn't get the belt because he missed weight. So
Right.
then they run it back in Fight Island.
Yep.
He beat him again.
Right.
He got the belt.
Right.
Then he defended the belt. Then he defended the belt again, had a draw, and then he lost the belt. So the guy has now got that under control. So I know that it's always going to be a talking point, but I don't know if it's going to be as important as it's been in the past, because he seems to be doing the right things.
38% of the bets on DraftKings Sportsbook right now are on Brandon Moreno, but 65% of the handle. So the public largely is backing Deiveson Figueiredo, and I think you can understand why people see value at plus 155. That is far and away the biggest price on Deiveson Figueiredo throughout his UFC career. Of course, the other side of this is Brandon Moreno, and if you don't know, this was a fighter that a few years ago was unceremoniously cut from the UFC. Now he's the first Mexican-born UFC champion, and he's only getting better. I mean, you got to start with the work ethic. I mean, this dude leaves no stone unturned.
No stone unturned. And John, we have heard stories. Our own Dominic Cruz, he goes down to Mexico to train at that gym.
Yeah.
Intrum
Gym, yes.
He goes down to Mexico City to train with the killers that they have down there. But now, Moreno's living in Vegas. So Moreno's not only training down in Mexico City at times, he's bouncing around the great gyms in Vegas, getting all that quality work. And I also believe that Brandon Moreno, once he became an analyst, became a little bit smarter in regards to how he fights. And that showed in the rematch against Figueiredo. In the first fight, he showed how tough he was. But in the rematch, I think he showed how he can win up top. And the mental approach to the game was much more advanced than Deiveson Figueiredo's mental approach was. And it showed. He had him a step behind him the entire time. And the boxing we've always known he's had, John, but it looked next level down in Arizona.
Tommy, one more for you as far as this evening is concerned, right? You think you're going to be watching this with a different perspective, knowing that you're actually going to be making this walk here in about 7 or 8 weeks yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I have to. It's the only way for me to, I just want to, like you said, like Brandon Moreno left no stone unturned. I got to do the same thing. You know, I don't want to, there's only one option, and that's to win. So I want to learn as much as possible with the whole fighting stuff. I want to, you know, just be completely, what's the word?
Immersed in it.
Immersed, yes.
So I know we have a Brazilian-American in the building, and I know you like Deiveson Figueiredo, but forced to make a pick using everything that Daniel has given you as far as his analysis on the fight, who do you think wins this flyweight championship fight, Brandon Moreno or Deiveson Figueiredo?
Just judging by the last fight and how it went.
He's going to do it.
Don't do it, dude. Hey, don't do it.
I have to give it to the Mexican man.
Reconsider.
Honestly, I don't know. It's a really tough call, but if I had to make a pick, I would pick Moreno.
You know how earlier you said you were going to represent the home team? Well, you don't have a home team anymore. The Brazilians are not going to allow you to wear the flag as you make your amateur debut, my man.
All right, big things this weekend. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Not now, but right now, use promo code DESK, one word, D-E-S-K, and all you need to do, throw down $1 on the UFC 270 main event and win $100 in free bets. If Ngannou or gone, land a singular punch. That's it. $1 into $100 in free bets. Code DESK this Saturday at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. All right, with all of that, for FaZe Temperrr and Daniel Cormier, I'm John Anik saying so long for now. We will see you live Saturday night on pay-per-view for UFC 270. And of course, we will have another betting preview for you in the months to come as we get ready for the next pay-per-view at UFC 271. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all soon. Enjoy the fights.